Brother, may I have some oats?
No. The tall, skinny figure has thrown the oats at me. Me, brother.
I am starving, brother. No! Brother, may I have some oats?
The basic attack is
been practicing? I am the weapon!
Waypoint set.
When in Rome. Well, that was anticlimactic. Can't believe I let those fucking bugs get me! What are you sharing, mother?
Tear them to pieces!
Releasing Hunter Bot. Tiny little bastard was a big problem.
Move to location.
Copy C4. Setting C4 charge. Detonating C4. C4 activated.
Bonus points!
Anyone get annoyed by bubble popping? Too bad. Man, I really want to see this thing's source code. I wonder if it's air capped. collision domain.
Oh, hey, it's a monkey bomb.
You might be my most useful teammate. Booyah! You're welcome. Wait, I see. C4 out. Down for the count. Tagging waypoint. When in Rome. Fuck, there's a lot of you. Nasty little boot there.
You impure filth are gonna learn your place.
Hunter bot in the air.
That is a damn good nod.
I don't even know why I bother.
Setting C4 charge.
Double points.
Comms to a minimum. Definitely sticking this under the mystery box. My kills per minute is unfucking beatable. Tossing C4.
Double points!
Detonating C4. I've coded viruses scarier than you. Eat shit, mouth breather.
Bonus points!
Talk about a bad first impression. Monster slaying.
Insta-kill!
I like having options. Well, that was anticlimactic. The gas coming out of me later will be brutal. Too close to deep breath. Setting C4 charge. Give me the goods, buckos.
Bonus points.
Now who's scary?
Max armor.
Oops, guess I'm just too good. Sending incendiary. Just like spring break. C4 active. Definitely sticking this under the mystery box. About as threatening as a pool noodle. Good luck keeping up. I'm on a roll.
Double points.
Hi, Bubtron.
Okay. And the winner by unanimous decision is... You idiots are almost entertaining. Do your thing, little buddy. Deploying point turret. Now that's our keyboard warrior, huh? Road to hell is paved with your guns. Let's see what you dorks are up to. Tossing frag. Hunter's live. Lighting Molotov. What'd you expect, huh? One large step for undead kind. Go eat your friends. Totally normal. Strike grenade set. C4 out. Time to break some ground.
Tear the
Decision is a lifestyle choice. It's called Arm Day, bitch! They're like pinatas full of field goals.
Ain't that a shiny new gun? Will I get beat or semi-automatic?
I can be a bad influence. Shit, I should buy a lotto ticket. Crossing C4. I always insist on having the latest tech. I've met tougher kids. Setting C4 charge. Detonating C4. no need to survive without me.
Max armor!
Love an OP mod. Time for an attitude adjustment. That's why we're here now. Concussion grenade out. Molotov out. Boy out. Not tasting the rum.
Let's see what you got left in the tank.
Timid minute. Bloody Molotov. Go eat your friends. Totally normal. That's it, buddy. Guess I'm a marksman now. Fuck, there's a lot of you. Point turret is live. bag's about to be full. Lynch here, job done. Did I do that? Yeah, I did.
Where do I go, broski? This is just a normal train station.
You'll need to find platform 6-7, then take the Maybach Express to Dripwarts. Come along now. All you gotta do is run right at that wall and you'll end up where you need to be.
Type shit? Say on guard!
On guard!
He tried to go through the magic wall!
He wasn't. That was just a crackhead trying to steal your shit, okay?
Huh?
So what now?
Dobby is coming. He will get you there faster.
Maybach music.
Hey, tighten up, Jen. I'm about to spaz on this bitch. I'm about to go crazy. Nigga, check this out.
Get in. Ron! That's Harry Potter. Are you really Harry Potter, my G?
Type shit, type shit.
Type shit. Type shit.
None of that, broski. We're all here on the Maybach Express for one reason and one reason only, and that's to go to Dripwarts, the School of Drip.
Maybach music.
Hey, tighten up, Jen. I'm about to spaz on this bitch. I'm about to go crazy. Nigga, check this out. Yo. Hey.
Is that Harry Potter? They say you are the boy who dripped. Are you not, broski?
Type shit, sir. Type shit. Type shit.
Type shit, indeed.
I heard he doesn't have parents.
What a loser.
Well, for your sakes, I hope the three of you are ready, as today is house sorting day. Snape will explain further. He's just moved here from Atlanta. There are 4 main houses.
Houses like Griffin Drippin'
We own this bitch, you hear?
and Drippin' Pup.
Morning Myrtle be morning tonight.
Where's the sorting hat?
Dobby is on his way with it.
That ass perfect, baby. I love the way you get it over the twerking, baby.
Well, Harry Potter, this is where you go off on your own.
Hunter box. The deal. Tossing C4. Coded virus is scarier than you.
impure filth are gonna learn your place.
Keep your mitts off the goods. Booyah! You're welcome.
When you win, you can tell me all about your fabulous prize.
Just like spring break. Treat! Give me something sweet to shoot! Rest in pieces, asshole! is a room clearer. Get your gross ass off me!
Welcome back to a series so mushroom. Even I subscribed in today's video. Queen of Sims Pokimane has finally responded to the drama. After her cookie company shut down, there was radio silence until today. She has responded completely avoiding all accountability, blaming everybody else. She claims her business failed because she's a creator and can't get away with certain things, like scamming your fans, ? She claims she didn't take any profits from the company and it all went back to the employees and the business. Kappa. She tries to claim she wasn't involved in the company and essentially blames all her employees for messing it up. She's also playing victim on TikTok, talking about how she's an immigrant. Asmongold has responded. Pathetic Hassan fans are trying to cancel me now. They are very butthurt that I dared to make fun of their god and savior Hassan. They claim I'd be flipping burgers if not for Hassan and would not have a career. Apparently there's a Miskiff fan in there going, "Demon time!" Apparently I'm meat writing the popular side and my coverage is bad. The SlopTube Avengers have responded. Subscribe to piss off every regarded Hassan fan.
Let's up those numbers!
Now let's begin. Right, welcome back everybody to professional unemployment. Right, so apparently Pokimane has responded to the cookie drama after all this time. Now, quick context, her cookie company basically shut down after being a complete failure. She tried to sell overpriced cookies to her audience of Sims and then ended up calling them broke boys for not buying.
Like, oh my god, $28 for cookies? It's 4 bags. That's $7 a bag. I know math is hard. Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Well, turns out she made a response now. Shout out to WestJet for the coverage. Right, here we got her video, Pokimane on why she stepped away from her cookie company.
Pokimane finally talked about the cookies, and boy oh boy, it was bad.
Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
Last but not least, the cookies company, which I launched like 2-3 years ago. Unfortunately, the launch for that did not go as we planned, but let's go into the lesson right away.
Yeah, the lesson is to not call your supporters broke, bruh.
I know math is hard.
Trying to sell overpriced cookies to gooners. Who would have thought that wouldn't work? Me.
It taught me that what it means to be a content creator is very, very, very different from what it means to be a business owner.
What are you even talking about? All she did was mark up Costco cookies. I don't know if you can even call that a business.
There are certain things that most businesses can get away with that you cannot do if you are creator backed.
Well, for starters, you can't exploit sweatshop labor.
So as soon as I realized, oh, maybe this isn't the right time for me to be the face of a product, I stepped away from the company and I let them just continue operating as they please.
All right, Busta, stop trying to bean boozle us. We all know you were the face of the company. As soon as you left, production halted.
Bro, there's no way she's actually trying to go, yeah, guys, I might have been the face of this and promoted this as my own brand, but I wasn't even involved, to be honest. Like, I don't know what you're talking about, guys. It's not really my company or anything. It's probably the fault of the people I hired who obviously messed it up colossally. I obviously did nothing wrong, of course. It definitely wasn't me being an obnoxious asshole online that completely tanked the reputation of the brand. Also, I don't really understand the logic of, oh, I'm just a creator and there's certain things you can't do as a creator and you can only do as a business person. That makes no sense because being a creator isn't obviously a plus, right? Because when you start a business on your own, you have to buy advertising, which is one of the hardest things, right? Actually spend money to get your product out there. But as a creator, you already have a fan base, you already have a bunch of eyeballs on you, and you can launch whatever shitty product you want, and there's a percentage of people who are going to eat it up no matter what. And in Pokimane's cookies case, they're going to eat it up and then have diarrhea because those cookies were fucking awful. But yeah, like, what the fuck? She's acting like she ain't got time. I'm sorry, what do you even do? You're not even streaming anymore. All you do is, I don't know, fake going to the gym for TikTok and hang out with your neighbor. I mean, accountability is really just non-existent. Why can't you just be like, okay, I fucked up. You know, I sold some overpriced cookies. I'm sorry. Simple as that. It would have been over right there, but she's still doubling down like years later. Also, I don't know what that glove is. I'm not a glove expert. I hope she's not baking more cookies. Although that doesn't really seem like a baking glove. Probably one of those freaky ass rich people gloves, of course. Right, so then she said that she made this entire company and started this business, but she wasn't taking any profits, guys. This was purely for the people, of course. She just wanted her fans to have healthy food that is very cheap and affordable, of course. Yeah, this is Omega Cap because you weren't taking any profits because there probably were no profits, you absolute clown. Your business failed.
I didn't take any profits, though it was making money, but that would go straight to staff or other investments. And yeah, that was 2 or 3 years ago. I think they might have started winding down since then, but I haven't really had much involvement since the launch.
Stepped away, and it was just like, I let everybody run the company themselves, and basically trying to say that they ran the company into the ground because she stepped away. No, that's not why the brand failed. The brand failed because people found out that her product was straight bull jive.
She literally has zero self-awareness. She preaches being this goody two-shoes socialist while literally consuming the biggest capitalism Labubu slop.
Oh yeah, guys, I just don't know what happened. You know, the company that I was a face of, they just sort of shut down, you know? I don't know, you know, I was just doing Pokimane things, buying some Gucci bags, and then I opened my phone and the company was shut down. It's your project. What do you mean you have no idea? Like, you quietly stepped away. You purposely quietly stepped away because you didn't want backlash and you didn't want to admit that you publicly failed on the internet, right? And there's no actual shame in like failing a business or whatever, is what it is. But when you're a pompous fucking asshole such as yourself, then yeah, people are gonna clown on you. And I swear to God, I hate this Omega cap all these business owners do that, oh guys, I actually reinvest 100% of my profits back into my company. I don't even take a salary, guys. It just goes straight to my employees because, you know, I'm such a socialist. I'm such a communist. And then you look at the people saying this shit, and it's the richest fucking hacks. It's Pokimane, Hasan, Mr. Beast, right? And they just have the most obnoxious statements like, you know, we hate the rich, or Mr. Beast goes, oh yeah, you know, I'm actually poorer than you. I'm actually in debt, guys. You guys have more money than me. Meanwhile, as a fucking billionaire, obviously.
It's funny talking about my personal finances because no one ever believes anything I say. So, I mean, you're a billionaire. I'm like, that's net worth. I have negative money right now. I'm borrowing money. That's how little money I have. Technically, everyone watching this video has more money than me.
Yeah, dude, honestly, I cannot stand these people. Like, I don't know why you can't just admit that, hey, okay, I'm rich. I get it. Yeah, nobody's gonna hate you for being rich. There's plenty of rich people that are very well liked by a bunch of people, right? It's just when you're an obnoxious, lying asshole about it, and you go, oh yeah, I'm just reinvesting everything. I don't even take a salary. I don't even take anything. Like, shut the fuck up. Now, turns out, apparently, her streaming career is not actually doing very well. I didn't really know this was happening, to be honest, because I don't really keep up with her at all, other than, you know, when drama comes up. But yeah, this kind of makes sense because when's the last time you heard of a Pokimane stream?
And the first moment she could, she on the working class saying, I know math is hard. It's $28 for 4 bags. If you a broke boy, then say so.
W bro, he nailed the Poke accent.
And somebody exposed this months ago that her company wasn't even operating. I don't even know why she's bringing it up right now.
I do. Her numbers are at an all-time low and she's losing followers every stream. 758 subscribers? Those are like iDubbbz numbers. You can't even pay your rent with that.
Oh my god, there's no way it's that low. Lesser than iDubbbz? iCucks, the British VTuber dragon? That is diabolical. I mean, to be fair, I'd still put her like a category above iDubbbz because she's not broke, right? Like, iDubbbz is just not doing very well. Pokimane, at least, we still know that she's probably rich, right? Her TikTok, she's always bragging about some buying some new designer shit or whatever, so she's definitely not struggling or anything like that, but probably irrelevant, I'd say. Probably not as popular as she used to be. And I never understood why people watched her in the first place, right? It was probably a bunch of simps or whatever, but like whenever you'd see Pokimane, you'd probably only ever watch for her friends or something. Oh, she's playing with Disguised Toast Among Us or something, right? And everybody would go to like the main guy or her friends or something, and she'd just be in the background sort of leeching off of it. Anyways, so then she started playing victim on TikTok. Apparently she brings up like being an immigrant. Oh, brother. She's so oppressed, guys. The multi-millionaire, very oppressed.
How do you stay motivated when you have a lot on your plate? I'm a workaholic, immigrant, and perfectionist. Lol, we just go, go, go. But IMO, lack of motivation, signals a deeper issue. Physical or emotional? You know she had to add the immigrant part. Chanel ASMR unboxing. You can't even make this up. Bro, if behind her is her actual house, that's insane. It looks like she's in Jeremy Fragrant's studio, bro. She whipped out the Babymane voice for this one. Like, people are catching on. Ah, yes. It failed because it was creator-backed and not because they were $28 cookies. Too many broke boys, I guess. Yeah, once the photo shoots and announcements were done, the fun was over and she dipped. And this is the dumbest shit I've heard in my life because the cookies didn't fail because they were creator-backed. The reason you sold any of this for an overpriced upcharge was because they were creator-backed. Like a true capitalist, she exploited the parasocial relationship with her viewers to upcharge cookies. The ingredients list was identical. This was shameless. Yeah, like, she's selling $7 per bag of 4 ounces, and these people are selling 14 ounces for $9.99. 145% markup.
Impressive. Very nice.
Same level of markup as the designer brands you love to flaunt around. She just has Hasan level self-awareness. Like, bro showed up into Cuba wearing like Cartier rings and glasses.
Of course, Hasan. They both really love China, of course. They particularly like the cheap labor. You know, very socialist of them. But yeah, dude, there's no way she's playing victim on TikTok. She's acting like it's her job resume. Can you point out your flaws real quick? What is something you're bad at? You know, I'm a workaholic, of course, you know, I just work too hard. Is that a problem? I'm sorry. I just work too hard. I make too many TikToks. Don't you understand? It's a full-time job. You know, it's from my background as an immigrant, of course, right? And a perfectionist. You see, that's why when I made my cookies, I just copied someone's fucking homework and then I upped the price because I'm a savvy businesswoman, of course. I can't keep it the same price, right? And I am a perfectionist, where, you know, I had to make sure they were perfectly shit. I had to make sure the cookies that were somewhat decent, I had to make it even more shit, you know? Yeah, perfect at scamming your fans, that's for sure. Pure responded, we got Think Before You Sleep. After having to watch her for a week straight, I've become incredibly annoyed by her constant acting. I assume he's making a video or something. She's so inauthentic and fake, it makes my skin crawl. Anyways, no one wants to spend like 25 on cookies. Shocking that her business failed. Absolutely no self-awareness. Good meme, good meme. She should have farted on them, then her disgusting fans would have bought them. The thing is, you're probably right. Like, honestly, probably could have done some stupid bathwater shit or something. I hate how she talks with the head bob and voice inflections, as she's some professor providing grand instruction. You're a potato yapping to underage virgins and overage pedos. What? What? She thinks she's a content creator. We're so cooked. Gooner baiting and clip farming are not content. Is this bitch wearing lace gloves like a psycho? Is that what they're called? Certain things most businesses can get away with. She means ripping off customers and then having some Joe Schmo CEO step down to take the heat. She's the face of her cookies and stream. Yeah, so basically all of the, you know, bad PR is associated with her, right? She can try to blame it on her employees or whatever, but she's the face of the brand, so she's gonna take most of the heat, right? That's unironically probably what she was talking about. That's crazy. Zero self-awareness is crazy at 40. Right, so Asmongold responded as well.
Context from a couple months ago.
And I think I've uncovered something. I think this company secretly went out of business.
Oh.
But they don't want people to know, because obviously that would be a big deal on YouTube if everyone found out that
if you didn't have the celebrity endorsement of the cookies, you wouldn't have sold any of the cookies because they came out and they were an inferior product on the market. Like, if you look at a lot of creator brands that actually sell good products, you'll see that they're mostly successful. Like Starforge started out as a creator brand, and you know what happened? We had a problem with the pricing with the PCs, and the night that happened, the night we announced the pricing, we had everybody get into a call, everybody was there, and we fixed it and it got better. She thinks that if it wasn't for, you know, maybe the controversy surrounding it, that bringing an inferior or a worse product to market would have caused you to be less successful. No, the only reason why it was successful at all, anybody was talking about the cookies to begin with, was because of the fact that, you know, they were creator pushed.
As much as people roasted Lunchly back in the day, I bet that still sold better than Pokemaze cookies because, you know, at least it was priced properly. Even Prime had a shitload of sales.
Oh, brother, don't remind me of Lunchly, bro. Only OGs remember the legendary saga that I farmed from Lunchly. People actually think Hassan is the first guy I milked. How naive. If only you knew my true power levels. KSI, Logan, and Mr. Beast, absolute nightmare blunt rotation. Good times, man. KSI crashing out at Dan TDM, losing his mind every few days. Absolute cinema.
Man, I can't not say anything anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. How does this benefit your time? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust the people who are selling it to them. Do better!
That's mold. This is not safe, especially like kids that are so young. They may not know what mold looks like, so they might just eat it.
JJ and Logan really paying this nigga's bills. More Pegasus. What is this? Just got destroyed by the internet. KSI just responded in the worst way. Oh my god, this guy. I'm guessing he's talked about Mr. Beast as well. Oh wait, let me. I love his thumbnails. Finally done. It's over. He's over. He's done. Finally over. Get your bag, my G. Get your bag.
Yep, real good times, and they were more popular, right? I get like 1 million views each video because they were such bigger YouTubers. Now I gotta settle for Hassan's irrelevant ass, right? But at least he's consistently stupid, right? So I guess it's better overall, better views overall, because he at least lasts an entire year, right? But yeah, dude, it's pretty obvious that if your product is good, being a creator is just going to help you, right? You're going to get free sales from your fans. They're going to excuse a lot of your mistakes as well. And it creates that initial momentum that is absolutely invaluable, right? Only Pokey would complain about this because her reputation is dookie and everything completely failed. If your company is bankrupt, just say so. Oh my god, bro. That's got to be the most satisfying thing ever. I might be a broke guy, but I ain't no sim. If the company's successful, I did it on my own. If the company failed, I barely had anything to do with it. That's crazy. Bro, she even admitted like, oh yeah, I just did nothing since launch. Like, of course it failed then. Holy. She's so nasty in every conceivable way. Bro, she's actually insufferable. I don't know how her personality has not changed in like a decade. And that's how the cookie crumbled. She makes it so easy to hate a person without ever meeting them. Holy shit. Well, there's a lot of creators like that. Chat calling her brokey main. She's 100% the type that gets you to hate your best friend by explaining it like she's actually helping you. Oh yeah, manipulative as hell. Moving on to Hasan fans trying to cancel me. Apparently they're mad I'm insulting their god and savior. Now I sort of saw this last time, but I skipped past it because I mainly cover other people, right? I rarely talk about myself because I don't really think I'm that important, to be honest. I'm a side character here covering all the main clowns. But occasionally, you need to step into the ring, right? When Rayguards like Mizkif are coming after you and lying about you, going, demon time, then you obviously gotta shut them up, right? So let's check this out. Right, so it all started here with this tweet by Yeet, right? Pegasus predicts Hasan will go down as one of the greatest liars of all time. I want to clarify here, by greatest, I don't mean the best. I mean, like, just a big fat liar, right? Just like a guy who lies a lot. Not that he's good at lying, because we can see he's fucking lying, right? Anyways, a bunch of Hasan Glazers got really mad at this, right? So we got a couple videos from fellow sloth tubers, Rev and Sensitive. So yeah, let's check it out.
Pegasus is making a video documenting the never-ending lies of Hasan Piker, and a recent clip was posted by Yeet on Twitter, and people are responding to this and they're very upset with Pegasus. But let's listen to this clip that has people up in arms about our fellow slop tuber.
I mean, the fact is, this has transcended everything, okay? People are making games out of it. Game of the year, actually. I mean, I think you got what you wanted, Hasan. You are going down in history, just not for the reason you'd like, you know? I feel like Hasan is probably going to be known as one of the greatest liars in all of humanity, right? Because right now, who is associated with lying, right? It's probably like Richard Nixon or, you know, Lance Armstrong, the Ponzi scheme guy or whatever. But now we got Hasan in there. We got to add him, put him to the top of the list, right? Because Hasan's like one of the only people who lies about verifiable information captured on camera repeatedly over and over. And who the fuck changes their story 10 plus times? Nobody does that. There needs to be like a Wikipedia entry of Hasan Piker and then lying is OP. That's his like professional quote, you know?
Lying is OP, as I say all the time.
So what he just said in that clip is completely fair and accurate. This guy would be flipping burgers if Hasan didn't exist. His whole business model depends solely on if Hasan goes live or not. Now, Pegasus has basically said that he doesn't need to do this anymore. He can basically retire at this point. And I believe that. Like, looking at the statistics and how his channel has been performing for years and all of the views he has acquired, not just from talking about Hasan, but many different people. He doesn't need to do this anymore. Okay, he's doing this for the love of the game at this point. To basically create generational wealth. Good for him. Very good for him.
Oh my god, they are mad, bro. The absolute fucking cope from Hasan fans. Actually, he'd be working at McDonald's if not for Hasan. He'd be flipping burgers. Hasan made you, bro. Oh, brother, you are late to the game, man. They really show up on my 7th year on YouTube and go, well, you only talk about Hasan. Yeah, I mean, it's an arc, okay? It's like a chapter, but it's not the entire book, right? It's like a one-piece arc. You focus on one character and you sort of build that story, you know? And right now, it happens to be Hasan. And yes, this is a long arc, okay? What can I say? It's a pretty long arc. And I'd love to move on. I'd love to take a goddamn vacation. But Hassan cannot stop being a colossal Ray god. All right, he's consistently just shows up every day and manages to embarrass himself in new and different ways. And yeah, he's completely right. I obviously do it for the love of the game at this point. I don't think you can manufacture the legendary series. All right, all of this is organic, real. I wake up every day excited, like it's Christmas Day, right? Surely today Hassan is not going to be a colossal moron. And then yeah, he does it again, and we have a good time here. Right, so then he goes over a bunch of more butthurt people.
I think those plushies in his room sums up this man-child's ability for critical thinking and is all you need to know about the credibility of this religion. Very much in the spirit of Hassan Piker, where you have no actual criticism of anything being said. Instead, you make these personal attacks against someone's plushie collection. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, there are sentient human beings who are able to type out a sentence like this, who genuinely believe Hassan has never lied about anything. Nobody cares what this Asmon fluffer has to say. Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, another round of Asmongold derangement syndrome. Hassan's biggest fan, LOL. MF makes daily videos. And people say this about me, like, despite the fact that I do not make daily videos on Hassan, but you know what? Yeah, it makes sense to make so many videos on Hassan. If you're someone who covers this sort of content, who cover streamer drama or controversies, yeah, Hassan is going to be like the focal point of your content. If you're not making videos regularly about this guy, you're not doing your job correctly, because this guy is very influential, whether you want to admit it or not. Biggest liar. Then scamming your audience of $17,000? Or a bigger liar than teasing your audience for a year that you had all the evidence collected on your ex and justice will be served and all will make sense and it'll be over for you, Pink? LMAO? What is this person talking about? What does this have to do with Pegasus criticizing Hassan Piker? I have literally no idea what this individual is ranting about.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to take a guess as to what he's talking about. I mean, he mentioned Pink, so that's probably referring to Tectone's ex. I'm pretty sure this person is talking about the Tectone situation. So I don't know where the scamming for 17K, I have no idea who did that, but based on the Tectone thing, this might be a Mizkit fan. Ay, it's a Mizkid. Get him, Mizzy! Watch out. His fans are about to go demon time, because Mizkit is the only colossal Rhaegar who actually thinks that I was vigorously defending Tectone and Lakari and like all these people, and oh, we're all best friends for 10 years when I literally don't know them at all. His Sherlock Holmes level analysis was, well, you made fun of Hassan, this guy made fun of Hassan, you might as well be brothers, right? When in my entire coverage, I was just being objective and fair, and I basically just said, oh yeah, you can't trust Mizkit without evidence, right? Because he has his own allegations, very similar, right? So obviously, you have to wait for more evidence, which is exactly what I did, right? I mean, this is just a classic. I already went over this in another video. Fucking Mizkit fans, bro. Also, I don't really get the point as well. You can criticize more than one person on the internet. I just don't understand. Right, so then somebody just says that I meat ride the popular side. And this is like a very common criticism of commentary channels. Oh, you just say what everybody wants you to say. You just meat ride the popular side. And I'll explain why this is a bunch of baloney.
But here's a quote saying this guy needs to go down as one of the least principled commentary channels of all time. Bro, Pegasus effing sucks. D and just meat rides the popular side. He did this with Mr. Beast, and it's why Mr. Beast's coverage of his is horrible. Interesting stuff, very interesting point from this individual. But talking about meat riding the popular side, are you talking about Jelly Lady? because that's what it sounds like to meat ride the popular side. I don't think the things Pegasus has said over the years really represents the popular side. I think going after people like Hasan is a daring one, because you're kind of ostracizing yourself in many ways, but...
Of course, so apparently I just meat ride the popular side, right? So first off, what exactly do you want me to do here? Do you want me to say that Hasan supporting 3 different terrorist groups is actually a good thing? That Hasan threatening to murder people is good? That him shocking his dog is good? Apparently we got Omega Edgelord here going, oh, you must always support the non-popular side. So these people are unironically so stupid, because I could be like, I hate PDF files, and then they'll be like, bro's just meat riding the popular side. You know, I'm an edgelord, I'm a free thinker. I, for one, really like PDF files, actually. Like, legitimately, the logic makes no sense. I can't really help it if some of these people are taking indefensible positions, right? And, you know, just for a little bit of rebuttal, you know, I'll have you know, the first episode of the Legendary series actually has a pretty low like ratio. It's about like 70-75% or something. And I think it's like the lowest in my channel ever, right? Because for most creators, right, and including me, most videos you make have a like ratio of like 99%, maybe 95 at the lowest if you said something mildly controversial. So basically that video having a much lower like ratio basically means that it was actually controversial to make fun of iDubbbz and Hasan initially, like a year back, right? Because there was a bunch of people on his side. iDubbbz's Content Cop got 7 million views. There were so many people actually on his side. Now, after 300 episodes, you know, after all the facts, everybody is like, oh yeah, you're just taking the popular side. Now suddenly everybody's on board, but initially it actually wasn't that popular, right? Also, this colossal Rhaegar just contradicted himself as well. You think it was popular to shit on Mr. Beast, the most popular guy, literally the biggest YouTuber? His fan base is quite literally 1 million times bigger. He's a billionaire. He could make you disappear, God fucking knows. Now, I'm not gonna act like I'm reinventing the wheel or doing something so brave, going out on the war fields or whatever, taking a bullet to the shoulder or whatever the hell. But I will say you need to have a little bit of boldness or a little bit of, you know, willingness to take heat from a bunch of like psychotic fan bases like Hasan or whatever to actually speak out on these topics, right? Because we know the second you try to talk about these people, their fan base goes psycho insane style on you, right? We've had those people, like this one girl made a TikTok about him. She instantly gets a bunch of like death threats and shit like that.
Hasan Piker fans are actually rabid animals. My DMs are full of people threatening to assault me, dox me, calling me Amber Heard as an insult, saying that I am using propaganda and I'm being paid by YouTubers that I also hate. Yeah, it's crazy that I called out Hasan for tourism and misogyny and being basically a passport bro, and I've got people calling me like a conservative in my DMs and just saying I'm spreading propaganda, and that even if he did these things, we still need him as the face of the left.
You really come in here after 300 episodes going, oh yeah, it's so easy. Yeah, because I have a force field, okay? I have a fan base to actually protect me from this bullshit, all right? So all the Hasan drones get completely eviscerated in my comment section. So it's like, oh, it's the popular side, right? But you can just go to Hasan's channel and suddenly they're the popular side. Also, I love how they can't point to one single thing that I did wrong. It's just like, oh yeah, he just sucks, bro. His coverage is bad. Zero arguments. This is literally a Hasan Piker fan right here, right? There's nothing to even respond to of substance because they didn't even make an argument. They're like, oh, you're bad. Pure responded, a series so good, even a Rev crossover episode has been issued. This is going to be absolutely diabolical. True. Lying is OP. Might be the truest thing he's ever said. True. Let's up those numbers. Let us all thank Jillywig for his contribution to the series. Now WestJet needs to react to this video declaring Rev finished all over Pegasus. Okay, bro. Okay, now you're lost in the sauce. I love how everyone in the comments knows all of Peg's catchphrases. I don't think our boys have anything to worry about. Yeah, I mean, these people don't really have much motion, to be honest. Even Hasan himself, he can't really do much about me. He's tried to imply I'm some like PDF file supporter. It's not really worked. Is this truly the end of the Legendary series? That's mostly up to Hasan. He needs to grow a brain cell. Twitter freaks think their online rage can can damage the legendary series, yeah, I mean, you'd probably have to get more than like 1 like or something. And even if you happen to get a viral post, it's not very impactful outside of Twitter, I'd say. Right, let's move on to Sensitive's coverage. Apparently even more people are mad.
8 videos of Pegasus' last 9 videos are about Hasan. The last time I saw something like this was Leafius here's videos on Pokimane. I've seen a lot of people being mad at people milking topics, or you know, why does Pegasus have 30 billion Hasan videos, or why does Sens have 40 trillion iDubbbz and Anissa videos? It's just basic supply and demand. That's what the people want to see, that's what they like, and that's what the creator likes, so it's like a win-win for everyone. And I think that's the same for Pegasus. Every single day that Hasan goes live, he says something new, he says something stupid, and it's an ongoing story. It's not like he's, you know, talking about something that Hasan said 10 years ago. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people who are jealous. A lot of people are like, man, these SlobTubers don't deserve the money. I spent 3 years making my video and it only got 10K. Meanwhile, these SlobTubers, it takes a few hours and they get 40,000 views in an hour. It's not fair. My response to all of that is skill issue. Get better.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh my god, I can't tell you guys how many people I've encountered like this who are so jealous. It's unreal. And it's usually like the high effort people, the sort of video essayists or the once a month posters. Oh, I post only quality content, guys. And they are so salty. They're like, oh, I spent 50 years on this video. I researched it for 600 hours, still got all my facts wrong. And then they see me who spent 1 day and got 10 times the reviews or whatever. Like, I don't choose that. That's the audience, right? It's a skill issue. You need to be more entertaining. It's not my fault that you aren't as successful. And I've had this issue for like years now where people are complaining about milking. When I did the KSI, Logan, and Mr. Beast saga, there were a bunch of people getting really mad at me on like Twitter, Reddit, everywhere, essentially, even TikTok. And they essentially are so triggered that I'm able to keep farming this, right? And they think, oh, you're clickbaiting a bunch or whatever. But the thing is about clickbait, it only works once, right? If you try to do it again, all the people who fell for it the first time are going to be like, yeah, I don't trust this guy. I'm not going to click anymore. The fact that it's consistently getting views for years and years means that people really like the stuff, really like the content, and they're willingly clicking on it, right? And they really only selectively apply this stuff, right? Any other genre, this is completely fine. Like gaming, you could milk the same game a billion times, but that doesn't matter, right? Or even in the like political genre, like there's a bunch of people who only exclusively cover Trump, right? They've made like thousands and thousands of videos on him for years, and they have nothing to say about that, right? And for me, Hasan is just the version of Trump here, right? He's just like a lol cow, right? So he's just going to be clowned on relentlessly. Anyways, the Hasan fans keep coping, saying that Hasan gave me all this clout.
Does this guy talk about anything other than Hasan? I mean, from what I've seen, yeah, you know, his videos are like 30-40 minutes, and there's multiple different topics. I love comments like these. This is Pegasus' second channel. I believe if you combine both of his channels, he has 2 million subscribers and maybe half a billion views. Do you know how much money that is? This is just extra money for Pegasus. Once again, it's a win-win. He has fun, people enjoy it, people are entertained by it, and he makes extra money. The Hasan fan cope is going crazy right now. Pegasus made his career about crying about people. Literally just what Hasan does, but okay. Hasan gave him most of his clouds. No, but sure. Not that he said anything of real substance. He will be remembered as a hater while Hasan goes to like CNN respectfully. Is this person like 2 years old? Who gave the kid Twitter? It's like, shut your goofy ass up. I'm going to make a pretty bold prediction. Here we go. I think Hasan, when everything's said and done, I think the biggest highlight from his career, what everyone will know him for, is shocking his dog. And how do I know this? Because my friends, and shocking, I know, Sens has friends. I know a situation is bad when friends of mine who are not online tell me about, yo, did you see this streamer shock his dog live on stream?
Oh, this is wonderful news. I mean, I've been hearing this a lot as well. You guys have been messaging me as well that everybody sort of knows of Hassan as the dude who shocked his dog, right? If you're not like into the drama sphere or anything, you just encounter a random person and they're basically like, oh, is it the streamer who shocked his dog, right? Absolutely wonderful. But yeah, I do appreciate the glazing from the fellow slop tubers, the Avengers squad here. Gotta stick together when the Diddy Piker minions are after you. He's literally a propagandist. He proudly proclaimed himself as a propagandist. That alone by definition means he's a liar. Exactly. Exactly. He admits it. The only people upset at Pegasus for the legendary series is Hassan Orbiters, and Hassan Glazers. Yep, pretty much. Slop vendors assemble. Never forget Hassan has said his favorite YouTuber is More Pegasus. True. Roll it.
More Pegasus made a dozen videos about you in the past few days. I love that guy. That guy is my favorite YouTuber, honestly.
The thing is, More Pegasus makes all these Hassan videos and they're all different stuff happening. Hassan's always doing something stupid along with his Orbiters and Froggen. I know you guys didn't expect a Froggen flashbang in this video, but hey, you always gotta be prepared, keep you on your toes. And yeah, all the videos are obviously new information. Nobody's gonna watch the same video 300 times. Anyways, here we are on the post with every Chenk's nephew crash out. More Pegasus power level increases. Bro, who actually made this? This is actually so good. I got the aura radiating as well. Holy. The legendary series beats every TV show. See, these people get it. Hasdolf Pickler isn't gonna let you suck on his piker. I can anyways. Pegasus has that shit down his throat on the daily. All right, man. Talking about Hassan every day, all day is boring. Couldn't be me. First off, it's not all day. You can see it's 30 minutes. You wouldn't know true entertainment if it hit you in the head. Now click this video to reach episode 1000 and trigger the hell out of these clowns. But yeah, keep coping. The series continues. Okay, thanks for watching, and thank you guys for defending me as always. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Cleanse them in righteous fire.
Madame la Présidente, I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their. Chair is sufficient.
It's a Gundam. He's just...
Progressives in the Western world have been very vocal, and thankfully, they filmed all of their communist meetings for us average people to mock as the world burns around us. Who could forget the National Convention of 2019?
When there's so many people moving around, it's very difficult to count.
Quick point of privilege. Quick point of personal privilege.
Yeah.
Guys, first of all, James Jackson, Sacramento, he, him. I just want to say, can we please keep the chatter to a minimum? I'm one of the people who's very, very prone to sensory overload. There's a lot of whispering and chatter going on, making it very difficult for me to focus. Please, can we just, I know we're all fresh and ready to go, but can we please just keep the chatter to a minimum? It's affecting my ability to focus. Thank you.
Thank you, comrade. Okay, is there a speaker against name, chapter, pronoun?
Privilege, point of personal privilege. Please do not use gendered language.
to address everyone.
Okay. We have a lot of disabled comrades, and a lot of those are invisible disabilities. First of all, in this room, I see that no one's clapping for me. It could be because I'm not engaging, but it also is because everyone's doing this. And that's really important, because those loud bursts of noise, even though this is a noisy space, when we can do something like reducing that, that's really important. So please don't clap, shoot up these. And additionally with the noise issue, like avoid pissing, avoid waving banners, right? If you don't know what to do, show up these, right? I'm sure there's lots of ways that we can communicate to each other without needing to rely on something that's going to hurt somebody else.
Or the Alphabet Gang of Massachusetts in 2024, demanding that the city protect them from the bug. They were pleading for their lives. They have yet to be hunted down by a redneck who's out there looking for buses. Can I even say that?
I need the city to protect me because the federal government won't. And if you think you're afraid of Trump, you should see how afraid of Trump I am. You don't want the city to be a safe space for trans people. You better prepare for trans people to make this a very unsafe space.
I'm shaking right now. I don't want to be here. I'm sorry, am I taking too long pleading for my life?
The friggin' frog's gay! Do you understand that?
Well, Canada's 2026 New Democratic Party, or the NDP, ended around 24 to 48 hours ago, and it was a wild ride of untamed victimhood.
Or mental illness.
Stop him!
At first glance, I assumed this was a comedy bit, but it's painstakingly real. I wasted about 4 hours or more of my life watching progressives rant their frustrations to a woman with what I can best describe as a Hitler Youth haircut.
Day one, the subject is food and what is this?
The NPD was concerned and focused on building a clean and sustainable Canada. Yeah, not with the home prices they have in Canada. You may as well be homeless, and even then the box is probably not affordable.
Thank you, Down. It's difficult to see. As you are able, those in favor, please rise. If you cannot stand, wave your card, and I'll ask for the house lights to come up a little bit.
This guy right here is the MVP. I looked at him and immediately saw my spirit animal. Yes, he's like me for real, for real. This dude passed out during a very intense meeting.
Keep in mind that day one of this convention was 4 hours and 45 minutes of boring shit like this.
I'd like to mention to you one of my favorite phrases that I'll be using a lot from now on. Point of privilege.
Quick point of privilege.
No, it's a point of privilege.
I am rising on a point of privilege.
I think if you have a point of privilege, you can speak about something personal that's bugging you under the right pretenses. What those are, I'm not 100% sure. Unless someone else has a diversity Uno card. Then you can't have your point of privilege because they have more privilege than you, because it's an equity card, okay? Frankly, Hitler Youth explains it to you, because I can't figure it out, dude.
Awkward procedural solution for the fact that some voices have dominated this hall in the past, and I'll draw people's attention at least on the question of gender to this colorful card. If you have a gender identity other than man, you can wave this at me and I'll move you up the line. But I think the point that we've heard before from another delegate is that there is a predominance of cis white dudes.
Kill the white man.
And you might look and see who else is at the microphone behind you.
Now, your point of privilege can be shot down for reasons. I zoned out, and frankly, I don't know what those reasons are.
Hello, I'm Jiwon Jung from Saanich Gulf Islands, and I'm the newly elected co-chair of the Racial Justice and Equity Commission.
Can you imagine how many lives this is going to be saving?
I'm rising on a point of privilege on behalf of a friend of mine who was who had his membership with our party revoked just days before the convention.
Not a point of privilege that's appropriate at this time.
All right. Yeah,
We're
just
gonna
wanted
throw to the broadband video.
Okay.
Thank you, Delegate.
Racial Justice Equity Commission. Yeah, I'd shut this chick down immediately. Just for the title alone. Canada seems like the most racially tolerant country that speaks English that I know of. Like, what is this group even for? Who's oppressing them?
Probably white men. It's always white men somehow, some way.
There has been a group that has been deliberately filibustering this policy block. As a result, we have only made it through a single resolution. Can we please extend the amount of time for this block? Can we?
There's a motion to suspend the rules. This would require unanimous consent, and as I told you at the beginning, the overtime costs for the crew and the hall, I am advised, would be ruinous.
Yes, let's vote to keep the panel open so everyone gets a chance to complain about something. To hell with the cost. Who will pay for it? You know. The taxpayer. Screw them. I want gender affirmation care.
And if you think that I'm being facetious, here's another clip of the same person like 2 days later demanding exactly that.
To shut this shit down. When we're talking about healthcare, we should be talking about everything to do with our bodies. It's eye care, it is dental care, it is everything that the NDP has been fighting to include as our public in our public health care. And it is also gender affirming care. I am non-binary, I am trans. Sorry, I'm getting a little off topic, but to bring it back on topic, when we're talking about healthcare, we need to be talking about everything to do with our bodies, and we need to ensure that it is publicly funded, it is free now, and it is free forever. Thank you.
Used to be a good country until they started letting people like you do whatever you want.
I want to unpack this for you, but the amount of insanity is insurmountable. By the way, white men are bad. That will be a reoccurring theme of all of the days here in Winnipeg.
A vast number of white males speaking at mics, and then white women come to the mic and say, oh, on the point of gender equality, we are superseding the order. I want people to check their privilege. There are a vast majority of diversity and equity people seeking to speak at this convention, and I think we should embrace them. Thank you.
That's a very well-made point, Delegate. Thank you.
You'd be surprised how many people get up there and have absolutely nothing to say. Just like this. It's like that Shakespeare quote. I believe it's Hamlet.
A poor player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying gender pronouns.
Pronouns are he, him.
Points of order, Robert Alley, he, they. My understanding as an equity-seeking delegate is that these cards are to help the chair hear equity-seeking persons, and that we don't only hear from white male delegates. This is my first convention, but so I could be wrong, but the reason for my concern is that yesterday during the housing resolution, after a white man spoke, someone at this mic waved their equity card only to give their speaking spot to a white man. Now, that white man being a leadership delegate, notwithstanding, I had lined up for a long time to discuss the housing resolution, like many others, including my fellow delegate, Akua. I just want us as a body to understand the spirit of these cards, because we are a party governed by processes and not by any sort of shock doctrine.
I can genuinely say I don't know what the purpose of any of this is. It feels like most of the time people come up to complain about non-issues. Oh no, the white man spoke and misused an equity card. Shame! Shame! These people can't enact change. If they come to power, it'll be the sort of bureaucratic rule you see in California. where there's so many checks and balances in place, nothing gets done or finished, and money just seems to disappear. Whatever happened to that monorail in California? Uh-oh, Fluffy's here.
Don't ask questions.
Remember when Canada was fine with white dudes and they would give them TV shows like The Kids in the Hall? Now look at it.
Hi, Atua from Pong, pronouns she, her, Whippy, Ontario. I would like to echo the sentiments of my friend Robert here. Yesterday, this card was used in an inappropriate manner. And while I understand in Ontario we note this as equity, even if that, this was also used inappropriately in terms of gender. I want everyone to be mindful that these cards for individuals like myself who identify as a black woman have no value outside of this space. Many of us are living in the most oppressive conservative governments across this country. I am from Ontario. A lot of you are dealing with this in places like Alberta as well as Saskatchewan. To abuse the privilege of this card means that we don't allow individuals like myself with intersections that have been used.
Politics card, kick off! Get off into a salad spinner and put yourself bottom first.
Most of the people I've seen talking were women, minorities, trans people, and the morbidly obese. And sometimes all three.
Let's take the microphone to that delegate. We'll hear from them right now. Thank you, Joe Spells, William
I think our Constitution needs to recognize that, and I also recognize there is. I'm sorry, I'm just speaking way too fast. I'm so sorry, I get excited. It's hard as a racialized and transgender delegate to sometimes use this card.
Why are they concerned with white guys saying anything? And even while skimming through hours of these videos, it seemed like working class white men were more concerned with immediate issues, like, you know, roads being fixed or something with their construction site or some crap, while those exhibiting jobless behavior were more concerned with foreign affairs, which didn't make sense because...
What the hell is the new Democratic Party in Canada going to do about Iran?
Richmond Hill South, L. She, her. Dear comrades, I'm here with Sandhurst to ask you to support this resolution. West carried out a triple tap missile attack on the Shajare Tayyib Girls' School in Minab, Iran. This resulted in the murder of at least 168 people, including 110 school children. On our government to condemn what is self-evidently immoral and a threat to international law everywhere. Let us have the moral clarity, integrity, and the humanity to say that the lives of children are sacred from Turtle Island to Palestine to Iran.
Microphone 2, are you on this resolution?
Yes.
Microphone 2, please.
My name is Mastura Tasneem. My pronouns are she, they. I'm from Ontario. Hello, bonjour. As we conduct this convention today and the past 2 days, right now there's discussions of 10,000 American men and women being sent to Iran, being deployed just to be part of this bloodbath. Canada cannot and will not be part of the legacy of blood that was built in Iraq, in Palestine, and now in Iran. This is a no-question debate. I call this question, Madam and Chairs. Thank you.
Your point's quite well made, Speaker. I'll again thank delegates not to call me Madam Chair or Madame la Présidente. I'm a non-binary person. My pronouns are they, them, and their. Chair is sufficient.
There was a lot of virtue signaling over the war, as if Canada would ever bust a grape in a fruit fight.
I know you're passionate about the war in Iran and America being the biggest villain since Adolf Hitler, but could you not misgender me?
Point of personal privilege, I understand there's very little time and for delegates to speak, but early on the mic, it's hard as a racialized and transgender delegate to sometimes use this card and speak up, speak to somebody in front of me in line and ask, hey, this pertains to multiple intersecting parts of my lived experience. I'd like to speak. I was rejected when I talked, and it's frustrating when these are my rights being directly under attack right now in Alberta, and that a cisgender woman had spoken over me, and I understand her rights are important too. This pertains to her too, but I don't know. I hope that in the future the federal NDP will also have a broader interpretation of the equity cards for speakers. That's all. Thank you.
I will invite delegates to assist me in better using the card by forming a straight line.
Heterosexuality.
Behind the microphone, with a prominently displayed equity card. If I see speakers ahead of you who are not holding a card prominently, it would be wrong for me to guess about their gender identity, and I will come to you.
By the way, did you know that the New Democratic Party stopped funding R-word crisis centers because they didn't allow trans women?
Vancouver cuts funding to R-word crisis centers over policy excluding transgendered women. Trans women hopes funding cuts will send message to Vancouver's R crisis group. The organization's not bad, says Kimberly Cox. It just means that attitudes have to change.
I wonder if this is a point of privilege to be a bitter bitch.
Adrian Smith, a human rights lawyer in Vancouver, said all of Smith's clients are transgender, and some of them have said they have been turned away from the R-word relief after sexuals. I can't say that, I guess, on YouTube. The R-word relief takes the position that transgender women are men in dresses, and that there's something inauthentic about them, Smith said. Their followers repeat this message, and it's fundamentally hurtful to my clients and to trans and non-binary people.
There's a point of privilege on microphone 1, then we'll go to microphone 3. Go ahead, delegate.
Yes. Hello, I was standing here with my gender equity card before you called on the previous order. That's my point of privilege.
I will explain the speaking order, which is fixed, that I cannot amend, which is the pro-con rotation. You can move yourself up a line that you're standing.
I am pro, and I was.
We went.
You went pro, con.
We went pro-con, pro, and my plan was to go con. The speaker at con mic 3 also has a speaking card.
Does the gender equality card override the trans card, or no? Wait, no, I don't think so. You get like double the cards if you're trans. If you're a trans woman, you're like a double minority. If you're a trans woman, Asian, it's triple. So wouldn't your card have more weight than a normal woman that's only a minority? Because you have 3 things she has too. I'm starting to lose my mind trying to figure out how this works or what the order of law is here. And it's best I don't think too deeply about it, because I'm sure everything I've done is bigoted.
And they're not filling it. They have had to be pressured to continue funding, which was a small amount of money, but in terms of their budget, but we had to push them so that they were supporting feminist organizations in what they were doing here and abroad. And then we also have to keep pushing them to make sure that we take our position in the world as leadership. The other side is well funded. They are evil, and they are pushing against what makes this world good. And so I am applauding that as New Democrats, we will make sure that we are standing up for gender equity.
I, of course, would support a feminist foreign policy, but I have concern with the wording of this resolution. This resolution washes the true history of Canada's feminist foreign policy. Under this policy, the Auditor General even reported Global Affairs Canada was unable to demonstrate how Canada's feminist policy contributed to improving gender equality in low-income and middle-income countries.
Some of it is performance. So is all of our liberal international order. If I were writing this resolution, I would have included, it should be a decolonial, intersectional feminist foreign policy.
I also recognize that a feminist foreign policy was used to justify the invasion in Afghanistan and killing 170,000 citizens and affecting millions more, and
If the NDP comes to power, I don't think any foreign power will take them seriously at all. Hell, these people are fighting over gender cards or some shit like that. What could they ever accomplish if they were in power? And so far, it seems like defunding a women's center for not being inclusive enough. I guess women not feeling safe or comfortable around trans women is null and void. They shouldn't have those feelings, and they're bigoted. You're not entitled to how you feel depending on who you're feeling it toward. Check your point of privilege. Overall, the internet consensus about the NDP, meeting whatever the hell this was, is correct. Canada has a mental health crisis and a housing crisis. So I guess we're not all that different after all.
There's a long-standing tradition of designing magic cards, and it's hard to imagine what kind of cards these effects would be printed on without ruining the card. And at number 5, we have Lord of Tressorhorn. This is a 10-4 legendary zombie with a mana cost of 1 blue, 1 black, and 1 red. It has the ability where you can pay 1 black to regenerate him, meaning the next time it would be destroyed this turn, you tap him and remove him from combat instead. Finally, when Lord of Tressorhorn enters, you lose 2 life, sacrifice 2 creatures, and target opponent draws 2 cards. Back to the trend of cards that give your opponent something when you play them, Lord of Tressorhorn is an extremely risky creature to play on almost any board state. While its regeneration does mean that, if you keep up some black mana, you can dodge a good few removal spells, there's still a lot your opponent can do to turn Lord's Enter trigger around on you. Also, we're looking at how bad the downsides are here on their own, so while it's relevant that Lord has a way to protect itself, it doesn't change the place it on our ranking very much. Additionally, Regenerate cannot prevent you from sacrificing a creature, so if you have exactly 2 other creatures in play when you cast the Lord and your opponent has removal ready, they can blow you out by removing 1 of your 2 other creatures and making you sacrifice the Lord. It can also be difficult to even find a situation where you could theoretically cast Lord without it dying to its own ability. You do need at least 2 creatures in play, which will likely require playing specific cards just to fill your board for the Lord on a later turn. This is all without even talking about the fact that you can also give your opponent cards when you cast the Lord, meaning that if they do have the clean answer to Lord in their deck, they're a lot more likely to draw into it. Overall, Lord Ender triggers just make it far too risky to ever actually cast. And at number 4, we have Cosmic Horror. This is a 7/7 horror with first strike for 3 and 3 black. It is the ability where, at the beginning of your upkeep, you have to pay 3 and 3 black, or Horror deals 7 damage to you, and you have to sacrifice it. Now, this may not seem like that big of a problem at first, but if Alabaster Leech has taught us anything, it's that mana is very important. Horror will eat up your whole mana pool not only on the turn you cast it, but every turn thereafter. By the time you get to 6 lands, you're not likely to be making too many land drops, and if you do, you're probably flooding. This means that if Cosmic Horror is on the battlefield, you're probably not going to be casting too many spells. If this just took up all your mana each turn, like something similar to Taniwa, that wouldn't be so bad. You could at least reanimate it or cheat it out somehow to get a huge creature out early. However, thanks to how Horror is worded, you have to be able to pay the mana cost, or the card will self-destruct and take a chunk out of your life total for good measure. This leaves Cosmic Horror and any other creature that would have the same ability with almost no use case whatsoever. The only way that a card with Cosmic Horror's downside could be good is if it had an ability that instantly created value. If a creature had a strong Enters trigger, something like wiping the board or drawing several cards, might make playing a card with this downside worth it, at least theoretically. The vast majority of creatures will be unplayable with this ability, but there are worse ones out there. And at number 3, we have Joko Mortar. This is a 12/12 Leviathan with a mana cost of 4 and 3 blue. It has Trample and the ability where it enters tapped, and as it enters, you sacrifice it unless you sacrifice 5 lands. It doesn't untap during your untap step, and whenever a land enters under your control, you untap it. We're specifically looking at the sacrifice 5 lands downside here, as it's easily the worst line of text on the card. There are a few other blue creatures with this type of ability, like Leviathan and Elder Spawn, but those cards force you to sacrifice slightly fewer lands than Joko Mortar does. meaning it has a much larger drawback. We've talked a lot in this video about how bad putting you behind on mana is. Alabaster Leech and Cosmic Horror both found their way onto this list purely due to how bad being behind on mana is. Unlike these cards, which only put you behind on mana while they're in play, Joko Mortar permanently puts you down on lands. Not only does this ruin your mana base, it's also a huge loss in card advantage. While having lands in hand is usually seen as an inferior form of card advantage to having spells available, they are still cards that you have to draw in order to be able to play them. Joko Mortar doesn't just undo 5 turns worth of land drops, it undoes 5 turns worth of draws as well. Worse, due to its wording, you can't cheat it out early either. With a card like Foul Spirit, which just makes you sacrifice a land when it enters, it doesn't care if you actually sacrifice the land or not. If you somehow had no creatures when it enters, you don't have to sacrifice anything. However, Joko Mortar doesn't have this luxury. It has to sacrifice 5 lands or it dies, meaning you have to find a way to put 5 lands into play before even thinking about cheating it into play. This downside is so harsh that it's pretty hard to even think of any set of abilities you could put on a card to make this worth it. And at number 2, we have Eater of Days. This is a 9/8 Leviathan artifact creature with a mana cost of 4. It has Flying and Trample, and the ability where, when it enters the battlefield, you skip your next 2 turns. After all, why hand your opponent 2 cards of Lord of Tressorhorn when you could hand them 2 Time Warps and cast them to boot? Taking extra turns is one of the most powerful effects in all of Magic, but it does have one major flaw. If you spend all your mana casting an extra turn spell, you end up not actually progressing your board on that turn. In order to make these cards work, you usually need to have cards in play that generate value each turn, like Howling Mine or a Planeswalker. The point here is that having an extra turn without spending a ton of mana on it is really strong. So imagine how good it would be when your opponent gets to take 3 turns in a row with all their mana available. Eater of Days was made unplayable as soon as it was made without haste attached, as there's basically no way your opponent is going to take 3 turns and not find a way to remove the Eater, especially with it being susceptible to artifact and creature removal. The card is basically just handing you the win when you play it, but somehow they've still printed a card that's even more backbreaking than cats. And at number 1, we have Sky Swallower. This is an 8/8 Leviathan with a mana cost of 3 and 2 blue. It has Flying and the ability where, when it enters, target opponent gains control of every permanent you control. There's really no way to explain why this ability is awful. The card takes a look at all the previous entries that give your opponent a ton of extra resources, and the ones that make you unable to cast spells, and found a way to solve the incredibly difficult puzzle of doing both at the same time. That was never really a puzzle, and no one wanted a solution to it, but it certainly did end up getting solved. If you get to 5 mana and cast the spell, you may as well just concede the game on the spot. Giving your opponent 5 extra mana to cast their spells with for the rest of the game while putting yourself back down to 0 is so completely backbreaking, there isn't a realistic way to come back from it. The only silver lining is that if you do cheat it out very early, you can get away with only giving your opponent a couple of lands or so. That's still terrible, but at least it doesn't sacrifice itself immediately like Joko Mortar does. It's not much of an upside though, because you're still ramping your opponent for literally no reason. We're still assuming that you didn't have any other creatures in play when you cast the card, which would make the card even worse. The only way this card enters trigger could be worse if it just said you lose the game, but then again, it might as well say that anyway.
In November of 2024, the developers of Palworld, a scrappy indie survival game that has sold 15 million copies in its first month, confirmed something that should trouble every game developer on the planet. Nintendo was suing them over 3 patents. Not over character designs, not over stolen code, over throwing a ball to catch a creature, summoning a captured creature to fight, and riding a flying mount. mechanics that have existed in dozens of games for decades. And every single one of those patents was filed after Palworld was already on the way to market. Today we're going to talk about whether you can actually patent a video game mechanic, why the answer is more complicated than you think, and how Nintendo's war against Palworld may be the case that forces the system to finally reckon with the consequences. Let's start with the law. Under 35 U.S.C. Section 101, you can patent any new and useful process, machine, manufacture, or composition of matter. But the Supreme Court has carved out exceptions for abstract ideas, laws of nature, and natural phenomena. In Alice Corporation versus CLS Bank in 2014, the court established a two-step test. First, is the claim directed to an abstract idea? If so, does it contain an inventive concept that transforms it into something patent eligible? The Federal Circuit has applied this test to games directly. In In re Smith 2016, it held that rules for a blackjack variation were an abstract idea, a fundamental economic practice. In re Guldenar in 2018, same result for dice games. Judge Mayer wrote in concurrence that games can never qualify as patent-eligible subject matter because they endeavor to influence human behavior rather than effect technological change. That's a strong statement, but it's also not the whole story. In Macro Inc. versus Bandai Namco 2016, the Federal Circuit found that a lip-sync animation patent was eligible because it claimed a specific technical process for evaluating phoneme subsequences, not the abstract idea of using rules, but a concrete method that improved how computers handled a particular problem. That distinction, abstract game rule versus specific technical implementation, is the line that every game mechanic patent lives or dies on. Here's the reality: patents have been granted on game mechanics for decades, and some of them have had enormous consequences. Namco held US patent number 5,718,632 on loading screen minigames from 1998 to 2015. For 20 years, the entire industry avoided putting playable content on loading screens, not because Namco sued anyone, but because the patent existed. When it finally expired, developers held a celebratory game jam. By then, SSDs had made the whole concept nearly obsolete. That's 20 years of player experience sacrificed to a patent that probably should never have been granted, given that a Commodore 64 game called Invadaload did the same thing in 1987. Sega patented the directional arrow in Crazy Taxi and sued Fox Interactive over The Simpsons Road Rage. That case settled under undisclosed terms. Warner Brothers patented the Nemesis system from Shadow of Mordor, patent number 10,926,179, granted in 2021 after 6 rejections over 5 years. That patent blocks anyone from implementing a similar procedural enemy hierarchy system until 2036. Warner Brothers has never enforced it, never sued anyone over it. Monolith Productions was shut down. The Wonder Woman game that would have used the system was cancelled. But the patent persists and no other developer will touch the idea. That's the hidden cost. The patents that do the most damage are often the ones that are never litigated. Their mere existence creates what economists call a shadow of the patent, a zone of creative paralysis where developers avoid entire design spaces out of fear. Which brings us to Nintendo and Palworld. The 3 Japanese patents Nintendo is asserting, numbers 7545191, 7493117, and 7528390, cover throwing a capture item at a creature, deploying a captured creature to fight, and mounting a flying creature mid-air. They were all filed in 2024, months after Palworld launched. But here's the legal wrinkle. Their divisional applications derived from parent applications filed on December 22nd, 2021. Under patent law, divisionals can claim the priority date of their parent, meaning Nintendo argues these patents effectively predate Palworld. But that December 2021 date is itself interesting. Palworld was announced in June of 2021, Pocket Pair's earlier game Craftopia, widely described as a Zelda clone, was already public. So the timeline looks like this. Pocket Pair announces a creature-catching survival game, Nintendo files patent applications 6 months later, Palworld launches to massive success, and Nintendo files divisional applications with claims tailored to cover Palworld's specific mechanics. The fastest one went from filing to registration in just 28 days. Is that legal? Technically, yes. Is it using the patent system to protect genuine innovation? That's harder to argue. Pocket Pair was forced to respond before any court ruled on anything. In November of 2024, they stripped the throw to summon mechanic from Palworld. Pals now just appear beside the player instead of being thrown from spheres. In May of 2025, they removed creature gliding, replacing it with a generic glider item. In their own words, these changes were indeed a result of the ongoing litigation. They called the modifications disappointing but necessary. That's the coercive power of patent litigation. The threat of an injunction, which could kill the game in Japan, was enough to force Pocket Pair to degrade its own product. This happened before any patent was adjudicated valid or invalid. Then the US patent system pushed back. In November of 2025, USPTO Director John Squires personally ordered a re-examination of US patent number 12,403,397, the American counterpart of the patent family at issue. This was only the second director-initiated re-examination in over 20 years. Bloomberg Law reported that Squires was concerned about patents crafted primarily for litigation leverage and being used as an anti-competitive weapon. Then, recently, in March of 2026, the examiner rejected all 26 claims as obvious under Section 103. The prior art, 4 previously published patent applications, 2 of which were Nintendo's own. The examiner found that a game developer of ordinary skill would have found it obvious to combine these existing techniques. Under the Supreme Court's KSR standard, which replaced rigid motivation to combine requirements with a common-sense inquiry, that's a death sentence for patents covering well-trodden game design territory. And that's the fundamental problem with game mechanic patents. Game development is iterative and cumulative. Every mechanic builds on what came before. The prior art isn't just patents, it's published game manuals, tabletop RPG rulebooks, strategy guides, and the games themselves. At the PTAB, Activision successfully defeated a patent using nothing more than the Diablo II user manual. Another patent fell to the Dungeons & Dragons rulebook. When your prior art universe includes every game ever publicly released, the bar for non-obviousness becomes extraordinarily high. The Japanese case continues in Tokyo District Court with no trial date set. Nintendo has 2 months to respond to the US rejection. Pocket Pair says its defenses are strong, and Florian Muller of GameSpray, who has tracked this dispute more closely than anyone, predicts that when all proceedings conclude, there won't be a single valid Nintendo patent left that Pocket Pair infringes. Whether he's right remains to be seen, but whatever happens in court, the damage is already done. Palworld's players are playing a worse version of the game they paid for, and every indie developer considering a creature-catching mechanic just watched what happens when you get too successful in Nintendo's neighborhood. The question isn't whether Nintendo has the right to protect its inventions. Of course it does. The question is whether throwing a ball to catch a creature is an invention at all, and whether Nintendo used its patent application to hurt a competitor. Thanks for watching. I'm Leonard French, your favorite copyright attorney. I look forward to reading your thoughts in the comments below. Lawful Masses is community supported. Special thanks to Evie, Ugly Grill, Tech Potato, the Bloodsoaked Survivors, and Kyle Seacrate for their top-tier support. Please consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/ljfrench. I'm also working on a web app that lets people send a quick postcard to their congresspersons. You can find the site at postcardstocongress.org. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback at support@postcardstocongress. Until next time, I love you all. Have a great day. Bye.
Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So this video is going to be a bit of a follow-up to something I covered a few days ago, where we had this very interesting collision of parties, including Hollywood, multiple franchises, and YouTubers as well. Today we're going to be looking at the
C4 out. Detonating C4. C4 activated. All right, doing good.
Max armor.
You're welcome. Now you won't see this on the highlight reel. a room clearer. My kills per minute is unfucking beatable. Rest in pieces, asshole.
Good news and bad news. Bad news is...
Time to cast Darkness. Great, you will get rid of it. Demolition. Move to engage all hostiles. Bomb plant in progress. Bomb going down. Bomb active.
Hey fuckers, knock it off!
We're planting the bomb. We're bringing the bomb online. Bomb going down. We're bringing the bomb online. Our device was disarmed. Bomb plant in progress. Charge is set. We're planting the bomb. The bomb has been planted. The guild's defused our bomb. Bomb going down. Bomb is armed. Enemies have disarmed the bomb.
Establish UAV above.
We're planting the bomb. The bomb has been planted. Defuse the bomb. We're bringing the bomb online. Karma requesting UAV overflight. Bomb is armed.
Perimeter established. Priority tasking request received. We're done.
Solid. Do it again so we can get the hell out of here.
Waypoint set.
Pull their plug. Demolition. Authorizing UAV operation. Enemy device is set.
Eyes overhead.
detected. Enemy UAV detected.
Attack off. Authorizing care package drop.
Mark requesting hunter-killer deployment. Authorizing UAV mission. Mission marking care package TV. Mason approving dog deployment.
Ready for deployment.
UAV commencing surveillance overflight. UAV fuel check 50%.
Hand cannon available.
Mission timeline expired. UAV exiting the AO.
Karma requesting UAV overflight. Running out of daylight. Close it down, Black Ops.
Attack off. Authorizing care package drop.
UAV available for tasking.
UAV above. Sensors are capture your objective. UAV mission timeline halfway check. UAV is bingo fuel, returning to base.
And I'm in their system. That's Curtains, Black Ops. Demolition. Bomb plant in progress. We're planting the bomb. Hostile UAV established above.
Perimeter established, Angel 7.
Ready for deployment.
UAV, fuel check 50%.
Time check, Black Ops. Credits are about to roll.
Hand cannon available.
Mission timeline expired. UAV exiting the AO.
Bomb going down. Hostiles released a skewer. Bomb plant in progress. We're bringing the bomb online. Bomb plant in progress. Enemy UAV detected. Enemy RCXD's on the hunt. We're not going down on my watch. Get yourself together. Demolition. Hostile care package above. Enemy care package dropping.
UAV above. Sensors are captured for objective.
Enemy Hellstorm on the way.
UAV mission timeline halfway checked.
Established UAV above.
Hostile VTOL working your grid. The enemy's planted the bomb.
Priority casting request received. Get it up.
Drop skew on my mark. Shrapnel is eliminated.
Enemy set the bomb. Charges diffused. Hostile RCXD incoming.
Requesting recon above.
Hostile UAV established above. Enemy UAV detected. Hostile care package above.
Authorizing UAV ECM. Give me eyes in the sky. Authorizing secure flight.
Skewer incoming. Enemy care package dropping.
Requesting recon above. UAV standing by.
UAV commencing surveillance overflight. UAV MTL 50%. UAV is bingo fuel. Returning to base.
Requesting the UAV above. UAV available for toss.
UAV perimeter established. Angel 7. Timeline halfway checked. Timeline expired. UAV exiting the AO.
Hostile UAV established above. Get serious, Black Ops. MTC is scraping bottom.
UAV standing by.
UAV above. Sensors on capturing your objective. UAV fuel check 50%. Priority tasking request received. We're a dot.
Give me eyes in the sky. Healing.
Got that one. On to the next. Demolition.
UAV commencing surveillance overflight.
Authorizing CUAV ECM mission.
UAV MTL 50%.
Requesting recon above.
UAV is bingo fuel. Returning to base.
There, copy. I need eyes over here.
above. Give me eyes in the sky.
Hostile care package above. Hostile charges primed.
Requesting recon above.
Karma confirming dog deployment.
UAV above. Enemies will capture your objective. UAV timeline halfway checked.
Everybody bail. This operation needs a hard reboot.